Have you ever wondered how you could never miss a race of the NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series? Well, if you scroll over to the playlist tab, scroll down a little bit and find this little section here, you will see all of the archives from every race of the Napa/Pepsi Cup Series to ever be run. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe on all these videos and enjoy.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Hello and welcome everyone to Race 5. This season we are here at Talladega Superspeedway. It is time to go racing. Superspeedway racing here today in the Pepsi Cup Series. As already mentioned, it's Season 5, Race 5 this season. Already closing in on the halfway point of this, what will be the longest season in series history at 13 races. And boy, this could very well top them all. However, I don't know how you're going to beat last race at Suzuka, which, I mean, there's no way it wasn't the best race in series history, but we're going to try today. But first off, we have to get to our ones to watch. Denny Hamlin starts on pole in the FedEx number 11 car. Can he pick up what I believe would be his first win in the series today? Today's probably his best shot to do so on a superspeedway and from pole. Brad Keselowski going to be aggressive today. We know that 6 car is fast on these superspeedways. Look out for him because he will be on the move. Chase Elliott has been the most dominant on superspeedways of anybody, leading more laps than everybody else and leading at least 1 lap per race in the last 2 seasons. Justin Haley as well, another strong superspeedway racer, starting deep in the field though. He has some ways to go to get up to the front of this pack. And starting way out back, it's Ross Chastain. He's got an even longer way to go if he wants to find himself in victory lane at the end of the day. As we get ready to go racing here today at Talladega, it's going to be a fun race. It's really all we could say right now. So many unknowns coming into today's race. As they roll off though, here's the starting grid. Rodco Racing is alongside Penske King 22. And behind them, Noah's Gaming 2.0 lines up alongside Earl Racing Productions in row number 2. In row 3, we have the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series alongside Jimmy John's Cup Series. And in row 4, it's the TMCS Racing Network and the Gaming Duo. Row number 5, it's CAN 142 and SRT 0616. And in row number 6, we have RS Conover and Luigi Plush Productions. Row number 7, it's Gavin Beers 12 and Zach on the track. In row number 8, we have R. Alamo and Log Drive. Row number 9, we have the 1 Mile Cup Series. He starts alongside SMCS Racing Network. And row 10, we have Mickey and Jeffy Show and Landon. Row number 11, we have NASCAR Mini Stop Motions and Nitro Apple. And in row 12, it's Trevor Banana and Mr. Fly to the Sky. My Wi-Fi Crash is in row 13. He's alongside Allegiant. And Mr. Coffee YT is alongside Erzako 5775 behind them. Row 15 is Bryce's Sports and Plushies and Drake and Friends. And row 16 is the MLCS Racing Network and NLS Network. And rounding out the field in row 17, 33rd and 34th, we have Noah Probably and Hartford Menard. And with that is the starting lineup for today's race. 34 cars, 10 laps will run today with a halfway break at lap 5, awarding points. It's a super speedway race, so look out for that huge pack and watch for the big one. Will we have the big one today? And if so, how many people will it take out? You just never know at Talladega as the green flag is in the air. We're underway. Dead even down the back straightaway. But Joey Logano getting a bit of a push, and now he gets left out to dry in the middle lane, the sucker hole, as Brad Keselowski powers around the outside, trying to get up into that top 3. He does for a bit, but here goes Byron with Chase Elliott The Hendrick teammates strong early on. They're going to pull up in front of that third line. And now all 4 Hendrick teammates nose to tail as Elliott gets a little bit sideways. Hamlin, though, leads the first lap as now he is being tandem drafted with Tyler Reddick. Not as strong as it was with the Gen 5 car of tomorrow. Got to keep in mind. And now Byron drops down to the middle to get in front of Ricky Stenhouse and have a go for the lead here. They're side by side. Coming out of turn number 4 to complete lap 2. Elliott on the outside powers in front of the lead. And there's trouble behind them. Hard hit for Ryan Blaney in the 12. Many others involved. First caution of the day, and it's a mini big one. Here, down towards the back of the field. Huge impact. Huge damage to Ryan Blaney. You can look, it bent the windshield even on that car. Just a big hit. You could see right there where Kaz Gralla in that 50 car went into the door of him. That might leave a bit of a mark. You could see Ross Chastain started at the back of the field. He'll finish at the back of the field and out of this race along with Martin Truex Jr. That's Corey LaJoie in the 7. And we're under caution. Chase Elliott, once again for at least the 6th straight superspeedway, has led a lap, I believe. Right, 6 straight. Here's a look at the replay. Looks like it was a bad bump from Bubba Wallace or something there. Almost fully collecting Chris Buescher. Gives him a bit of damage, but not much. And then you have Austin Cindric involved in this accident. Cindric drives away. He'll get 4 fresh tires and some fuel and be on his way for the rest of the race. Everybody else involved, that's LaJoie, Chastain, Truex, Gralla, and Blaney are out. We'll have 1 lap to the halfway break on this restart as the green flag flies once again. We are back racing and it's Hendrick teammates on the front row. Doesn't look like any teamwork here as Bowman is going for the points over championship leader and race leader Chase Elliott, and he gets turned and into the inside wall goes Alex Bowman, and a big hit for the 48, bringing out the caution to end the first half. Who was in front? Was it Elliott or Byron? Getting reports now that it was William Byron in front at the time of the yellow, so he will take the 25-point advantage, and that could be huge later on because that's a 7-point difference for Chase Elliott there in this championship. So now they're heading down into the pit lane. William Byron, the race leader, halfway winner. He is in for some 4 tires and fuel in that 24 Chevy Camaro for Hendrick Motorsports. Same could be said about Chase Elliott in the number 9, 4 tires and a little bit of fuel to make it to the end of this race. Look out for that 9 car. He should be strong. It's very tight on fuel, so a lot of these guys are just topping off. Denny Hamlin also in the 11 car, the pole sitter. Led the opening lap, has not led since, but has looked strong nevertheless. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also in. He's been pretty aggressive today. Pretty silent up at the front of the field as well as they come out of the pit lane. Byron, Hamlin, Logano, Larson, and Gilliland. Your top 5 as it's a pretty mediocre stop for Chase Elliott. Cody Ware and Austin Cindric stay out and will take over the top 2 spots. There's a look at the replay. Looks like a bad bump from Chase Elliott. Puts his teammate Alex Bowman in the wall. Or maybe just a big bump, not necessarily bad. Sometimes the speed difference is just so big that it's really easy, to lose these cars, especially these next gens, as Austin Cindric and Cody Ware lead the field to the green for the second half of this race. Heading on to the back straightaway. Once again, dead heat for the lead. Here comes Larson on the outside. Ware cannot get up in time to block that, and the 51 is stuck in the middle line with Hamlin behind him. Dangerous spot if you're Denny Hamlin. He wants to win this race. He feels he needs to win this race to really get back in the championship, but he's stuck in that middle line, and he has third place runner in the championship. Christopher Bell right behind him as Ware drops down to the bottom, giving Hamlin leadership of that middle line, and Kyle Larson trying to get down. He will in the 5 car. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. powering on that outside line, though, trying to make something happen, and I think they're starting to go 4 wide in the back even, because I think that was Briscoe trying to make a move. As Hamlin to the outside, 3 wide for the lead. You can see Briscoe there really forcing his way through the field, and they are 4 wide. Look at how beautiful that is as they cross the line to get 3 laps to go. Ware and Hamlin side by side onto the backstretch. Hamlin up to block Bell. Trouble! Bell in the wall. Stenhouse is involved. Suarez as well. Big crash on the back straightaway. It's the big one. Byron, Elliott, all out of the race. Logano involved as well. That's Suarez on his side/roof. Stenhouse is jacked up in the air. Kyle Larson is in it. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch. I already mentioned Christopher Bell. He started that. That is the 77 underneath the 47. And you can see the 31 is also propped up in the air with Cole Custer underneath him. 62 car, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. involved in this mess. He's driving that Project 62 car for today's race. Massive accident here at Talladega. So many people involved. There's Chase Elliott. Will not win a superspeedway race. I mentioned how he's the most dominant of any driver, yet he has not won a superspeedway in that dominant stretch. Most of the time, it ends up just like it has today with a wreck for the 9 car. William Byron as well, so strong, needed a good result. Not going to get... To be fair, he might still get a somewhat decent result, a salvageable result. It'll just be in the garage. He'll probably be just on the back end of the top 10, though, because he is one of the first scored in this accident. That's the benefits of being taken out in an accident that takes out so many others. You could still be scored high up, as you see what happened there. Bell hopped up. Stenhouse gave an aggressive push, I guess, and started that. Might have been Bell switching lanes, really, there, just sort of cutting himself off. And then Suarez just hopped on the 62, and that sort of put him in a relatively slow rollover as Cindric is in along with the 21 of Harrison Burton. Here for pit stops as we'll get ready for the final, what we assume could be the final restart, I should say, here in overtime. I saw overtime and I was jumping to conclusions here. Ware leads them away with Hamlin to his outside, green flag back in the air, and here we go. Not that many cars left, and look at that, the 43 of Eric Jones. Big push to Denny Hamlin. They take the lead down the backstretch. Ware jumping out, he jumps back in line, and now they're just going to try to duke it out as they come out of turn number 4. The white flag in the flagman's hand, getting ready to be thrown. White flag in the air, trouble, big hit, and a car upside down. That's Chase Briscoe. Caution is out. Race will finish. And a huge accident into the catch fence for Chase Briscoe in the 14. Wow. Huge impact there. Eric Almirola, you could see, also torn to bits. But Wallace, AJ Allmendinger was also in that wreck. I believe Austin Dillon was as well. Denny Hamlin will be scored the winner. But massive incident. You can see Noah Gragson there in the background, also involved. He was the other driver. Chase Briscoe, man. Here's a look at the replay. Just like Myatt Snyder at Daytona in the Xfinity Series last year. Got turned around. Don't know if he got hit by Almirola, but that nevertheless, the car just took off. And it was gone from there. There's the car flipped back over. And looks like we will most likely have word on the condition of Chase Briscoe at a later time after this race. Eric Almirola also torn to bits, but a major crash here at Talladega. Here are the results. Rodco Racing, a.k.a. Denny Hamlin, takes the win. Allegiant gets his best result in the series of second. That's Eric Jones. Mr. Fly to the Sky, that's Cody Ware, P3, which I believe is the same place he finished at Daytona on the last superspeedway. So a great result for Ware, who I believe moves up into 9th in the point standings with this result, believe it or not. Pretty much only from the superspeedways as well. Austin Cindric, after a bunch of bad weeks, finishes P4. There are the rest of the results. Points leader heading into last race was Christopher Bell. He finishes P14. Chase Elliott way further back, so this is good for Bell. Kyle Busch, P19, also gaining points as well. 13th is Kyle Larson. He's second in the standings right now, so that's also big. Chase Elliott, you could see back there, 24th, so hardly any points for him. I believe he gets 2 points plus the points for leading all the laps that he did early on. But just, wow. Big wreck. So we believe there will be a statement later on at a later time from Stewart-Haas Racing regarding the whole situation. Here are the points. Chase Briscoe currently 11th in the standings. However, I get the feeling after this crash, it won't be that way for long, as he will probably drop down the order, assuming he's unable to race next week, which I think would be a great assumption given that crash was frightening. You'd have to think he's taking time off even if he is okay after that one. You just never know, though. Ike Rockenfeller didn't even race today. Still P17 in the standings. Not bad there. As we look through the rest of the grid. Austin Cindric was conscious as he was taken from the car. Is doing okay. That's about all we have right now. The extent of the injuries from that crash on the final lap, yet to be known. Alex Bowman, Justin Haley, you can see there in the points, 25th and 26th. Bad day for Bowman again. Some more drivers not racing full-time. Ayumu Iwasa, P31. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 36. Jimmy Johnson, P28. Johnson raced in the 500. Iwasa raced last week at Suzuka. And Earnhardt raced today at Talladega, all in the 62. Anyways, thank you all for watching what was a fantastic first 10.5 laps to this race, or rather 10 laps to this race before right at the white flag, that big crash. I hope to see you back at a fictional street circuit in Jim Thorpe. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.